Okay, there you go. Can All right, good morning everyone. Can everyone hear and see me clearly just to check lang? Sa ating participants via Zoom, yes, kindly send in good morning if you can hear and see me clearly. Let's go. Very energetic, Sir Fa. Good morning, Sir Frank. Good morning to the rest of our participants via Zoom and also our Facebook live viewers. So it's Friday, and you know what Friday rings na to me? It's Principles of Scaling Day again. And it's something that we look forward to. Anyway, speaking of look forward to, not usually, but of course, before we start our day, we get to have our breakfast and hopefully nakapag-breakfast and also nakapagkape na at least yung iba dyan. As for me, I'm taking my take-out lang na kape while I'm waiting for my i-order ko na kape from Coffee Clan Sellers Hub. Shout out sa aking kasama sa circle, Ma'am Michelle. I hope you're listening or here in Zoom. All right, sige. So anyway, yes, it's Principles of Scaling Day again. And today, we are going to talk more about the word explore. When you hear the word explore, ano bang pinapasok sa isip natin? Usually for me, the word new. Kasi yan yung explore talaga, you know. So anyway, more about that one later. On to the next part. So if you're a regular member or actively or always regularly joining our Principles of Scaling, we wonder what really gets these people energetic and motivated to do this every single time, every Friday without failing, is starting at exactly 10 a.m. So just like what Surfa always emphasizes, we are not paid to do this, but why are we spending a lot of time, energy, and resources for this? Basically, we share this mission, which is, if you can see our screen here, we install DNA principles that scale organizations. Yes, and we help build institutions for legacy beyond just simply making money. And our goal for today is for you who are here, to those who are here in Zoom and Facebook Live, our goal is for you to have one key takeaway that you can immediately apply. Sayang naman yung isang full hour mo na nakikinig, you were so pumped up, energetic, motivated, but you failed to apply something, right? So let's make it count. Now, before we go to the next part, sa sobrang excitement ko, I forgot to mention my name or introduce myself. Again, I'm Jillian Desacula, your host for today for the month of July, and also COO of Ripple Kids Educational Services, Inc., and an active and proud circle multiplier here in CEOInsight Asia. All right, now on to the next part. Yes, our theme for the month is all about business model and focusing on being methodical. And when we say being methodical, what does it mean for us? Basically, it's manifesting an insatiable drive to be better in every possible way. Yun yung pinaka explanation natin about this, or description natin about being methodical. Now, on to the next part. Here's a quick summary or overview of the topics for the month of July. Week 1, we tackled the experiment. Week 2, execute. Week 3, examine. And now we are on our 4th week, and we're going to talk about the word explore. Week 5 naman, another exciting topic. because we will talk more about the word experience. And for this week 5, we actually have a special guest speaker in the person of Sir AJ Araneta, who is the founder and CEO of Payran. He's also a co-founder of other multiple companies like Metablock Technologies Inc. and Passcode. I wonder if this person, nakakatulog pa ba ito? Ang dami niyang endeavors. So make sure you don't miss this one kasi kawalan mo kapag na-miss mo ito. Sure yan. Okay, thank you so much. All right, now on to the next part. We have a few announcements before we officially start. First and foremost is all about our CEO Summit. Yes, direct. Yes, here, CEO Summit. Ano nga ba ito? So basically, this is an event happening this October this year. Kaabang-abang. So make sure to get your tux and gowns ready for our CEOs and business leaders. And by the way, another good thing about this one is this is open to CEOInsight Asia members and non-members. So if you know someone you think who really needs the value that we're adding, feel free to invite them here. So more information about that one later. Now on to the next announcement. Okay, so here we have the brands or the logos of companies actively involved in CEOInsight Asia. I believe we have around 30 or almost 30 brands and companies here. Okay, and yes, this also translates to 50 plus CEO Circle members, CEOs and leaders actively facilitating or joining our Circle meetings. To those who are new to CEOInsight Asia or Principles of Scaling, ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating Circle meetings? So on to the next part here. One example is, some facilitators or Circle multipliers are happening. Some are happening every Tuesday. Iba-iba tayong schedule. Okay, all of the ones in the picture are facilitating their Circle meetings every Tuesday. Now on to the next part. We have one featured Circle multiplier today, and this is no other than the CEO, Coach Ron Magsalin. He's the owner and founder of Unlocked Strengths. He's also a certified Gallup Strengths coach. And yes, let's know more about his experience through this video.
Hello everyone, I am Coach Ron Magsalin and I am the owner of Unlocked Strengths Life Coaching Services. I decided to join CEOInsight Asia because as a freelance coach, I want to bring my business to another level. And being in a community, an ecosystem of CEOs who share their best practices, their insights and perspective in running a successful business will be beneficial for me. Being surrounded by people who are accountable is a great motivator for me. Having their advices, their insights will help me be on track towards where I want my business to be. So I am inviting you to join our Circle meetings every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to 12 noon, as well as Principles of Scaling every Friday at 10 a.m. See you there!
Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Sir, Coach Ron, for that sharing of your experience. Gusto ko yung na-highlight niya, being surrounded by people who are accountable. In addition to that, not just accountable, but who are parang na-inject yung DNA sa kanila. So powerful talaga yung community and ecosystem natin here. And also highlighting the two events na mention niya, Circle meetings happening every Tuesday, 11 a.m. and also this Principles of Scaling every Friday. For me, I make it to a point na parang Tuesday, okay, I know it's my Circle meeting. Friday, it's my Principles of Scaling event. Now, if you're also interested, to those in Zoom, I believe familiar na kayo. Okay, we have posted sa ating Facebook comment section and also here in Zoom yung sign up link natin. So to our current CEO Insights Asia members, if you know, I think kailangan to ng more businesses and business leaders in the Philippines. So feel free to invite them. Hindi ka nangungulit sa kanila, but you are adding value to them when you share this opportunity to be part of CEO Insights Asia. And to those who are watching via Facebook Live, yes, nasa comment section, check nyo lang yung form and then provide your information. Someone will contact you and then you're off to a good start na. I assure you that one, based on experience. All right, now, I believe we have one last announcement here, and this is all about Certified Executive Partner Program. So we call this one CEO Insights Asia Certification Program. So just a bit of an overview. Basically, this is a certification for your business. Coming from CEO Insights Asia, saying that your business is DNA driven, and it is to build more trust with your potential partners and clients, and so that they will feel more comfortable and assured dealing with your company. Think of it as like something like a badge that you are vouched by CEO Insights Asia. And ano ba yung ibig sabihin nun? So what if you're vouched by CEO Insights Asia? Just to share lang CEO Insights Asia ecosystem is getting bigger in size and also getting deeper in terms of injecting our DNA to CEOs and business leaders. So imagine we know a lot of business leaders na really appreciate and acknowledge that those DNAs and would appreciate working with people who share the same DNA. Yun yung kainaman and the advantage ng being certified under this program. Yes, again, more information, I think na-share na din yung link here in Zoom and also Facebook. So andun yung details. Kindly check it out and then let us know if you have questions. All right, now, okay, on to the next part. Direct, we are about to start na with our topic for today. And of course, before we discuss the content, the topic, it is important that we highlight who will deliver this one. So he is one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEO Insights Asia. According to his Facebook page or profile, an investor, advisor, a husband, and a daddy. And for me, this man is this person is the man who iconized, if there's such word, the black suit and red tie. No other than Surfa. So without further delay, it is my honor and privilege once again to introduce you to our faculty for today. No other than Mr. Florentino A. Hernando.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jill. Grabe naman sa introduction. Daming nangyayari dito. Ay, nako, ano ba? Sa mga walang tulog, ginusto natin ito. Okay. Sige, welcome everyone to our fourth installment of our executive series. We are now going to talk about Explore. Ayan. So, formally introducing myself, my name is Florentino A. Hernando. I'm one of the founders and executive advisor of CEO Insights Asia, and our purpose is infusing ideas that build lasting companies. That's the reason why we are here in this ecosystem. We want to build our companies into something na pwede nating ipasa sa mga anak natin at sa mga apo natin up to the 7th generation and so on and so forth. So, very exciting ang pag-uusapan natin today. Before I proceed, a couple of shoutouts. Ayan, gusto natin ito. Ginusto nyo to ha. Sige, babatiin ko lang kasi next week wala ako rito. May break ako, di ba? Walang ma-high blood sa inyo. So, batiin muna natin na magba-birthday at pupunta ng Cebu. Si James Espina ng Escasi E-Compreneur Corporation. Ayan, nasa Facebook daw siya. Binati na kita, sir, kasi wala ako next week eh. So yeah, I'm very excited to have you on board our ecosystem. Yes, tahimik lang yan, pero matinik yan. Very efficient operations yang mga yan. Tapos isa pa, nandito ang Director of Partnerships natin. Siya ang taya next week, si AJ Araneta. Isa pa rin yan, tahimik lang yan. Pero stress na yan sa CEO Summit natin. Alright, sige, okay. Anyway, agendas muna tayo. Ano ba mga pag-uusapan natin? Favorite part of the conversation or the session is the conversation starter. Meron tayong mga na-assigned. I believe it's one from our Sellers Hub teammates. Ayan. Si Darwin pala. Sorry na. Darwin, happy birthday. Darwin Sigoya. Ayan, of SCASI. Ayan. So conversation starter, we'll do quick recap. We'll define what revenue stream means. So dun sa may mga bagong 1,000, bawal itiklop ha. Ayan. Tapos, we'll talk about types of revenue stream. We'll talk about a bit about problem with employment. Mag-shift tayo ng konti dyan. Tapos babalikan natin uli doon sa topic. We'll do lots of case studies. And then we'll close with a case study, which is the CEOInsight Asia. And then we'll get practical. Okay, so as usual, kung ready na kayo, for those who are in Facebook, ay nako, mag-zoom na kayo, di ba? Please naman, pera lang doon sa mga nagdadrive. Ilang yan. Okay, at para doon sa mga nandito sa loob, please type I am ready and then type your company name. Representative, be proud. Uy, may 33 million participants na tayo. Ayan. Di ba? Oh, nag-drop yung isa. Okay, I am ready, the Mercs. Okay, Sellers Hub is here. Grabe, ang daming Sellers Hub. Pog, o yan dito si Jerome. Yan ang ano natin. Kaibigang also na si Love ng Ripple Kids. Si Jabs, Foligo. Teacher Verish, nandito. Yan ako si K-Dragon of MN Starnet. Sino pa ba? Organica, Christian Mosende, Mercado PH, Z Ventures. Andito ang aking pinsan. Si Brotherhood Kurt Flores. Okay, sige. Start na tayo. Let's do the conversation start. Ciao B, Jim. Welcome. Ayan, Speedway, Faye Vergara. Conversation starter muna tayo. This is the question I believe one of Sellers Hub partners natin ay yung sasagot nitong tanong na to. John Ray, sir, para sa'yo, what comes to your mind when asked the biggest difference between being an employee and being a business owner? So, sir, kindly unmute.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning po. So for me, ang biggest difference between employee and business owners is mindset. Oh. So employee is always, hindi naman always, pero I believe employee is just taking care of his or her tasks every day. Yeah. Pero yung CEOs or business owners is most of the time their mind is all the organization, the growth and the scaling. Yes. So, iyon po yung sa akin.
All right. Thank you. No, pag employee, you're just focusing on your task. Diba? Largely, hindi naman lahat, di ba? May mga employee tayo na who acts like owners, di ba? And there are some who just focus on their task, and that's okay kasi yun naman ang binayaran sa kanila eh. Di ba? When we were employees, yun yung binayaran sa atin. But business owners are a different animal, you know. I'm working with some people who already came from corporate world and they talk to me, sasabihin nila, medyo may experience na kami in running businesses kasi nasa executive level kami. And then it's not an advantage kasi marami tayong unlearn because running, being an executive from a company, and I came from I was an executive from a companies, and starting and running a business are two different things, two different skill set yon. But when you're an executive, you already have the team in place, you have the company, ayos na yan lahat. When you become a businessman, magre-register ka. So, andyan si AJ Araneta, if you need registration. Andyan si Chill. Ayan, yung mga kaibigan natin, if you need help with your registration. So, that's another challenge. And then yung cash flow and all. So, yeah, maraming differences. I'll share about the biggest difference later. For me, between being an employee and being a business owner. Okay, so quick recap muna tayo. Mabilis lang talaga to. We talk about in week 1, experiment. It's about the .bomb summary. And it's basically back in the 90s when ang pangalan ng company mo may .com, people invest in you kahit wala ka pang proven track record. And because of that, a lot of people lost millions of money because of poor investment. Okay? So when you're starting a business, ito yung mga wag mong gagawin if you want to build something that will last. Number 1, don't start with the wrong people. Alam namin yan, di ba? Alam namang, alam niya nila yan. Di ba? Magko-comment na lang dyan yung mga alam wrong people. Second, no business model. We don't know how to make money. It's not yet proven. Yan, hindi na lang daw sa magto-talk. And then, yung scaling premature. Easy peasy. Okay, scaling prematurely. Don't do that because that's the fastest way to kill your startup. Okay, scaling prematurely, hindi pa ready yung company, di ba? Kasi hindi pa proven yung business model, is in the experimentation phase. In-accelerate natin, right? So don't do that. How do you come up with business model? We go to the headshot concept, which is the intersection of tatlong bagay. Anong excited kang gawin that you will do even though people won't pay you? You'll keep doing it. Second, kailangan partnered with skill set. Magaling ka ron, or you can be the best at in that skill. Okay, and then the third is you know how to make money out of it. Once we meet that, that's the best way to come up with a business model, right? So in week 2, pinag-usapan naman natin ng execute. It's all about multitasking. And it's a myth, di ba? As defined, multitasking is performance of more than one task at the same time. This is a myth. This is actually, we are worse off when we multitask. Why? Because the science or the data has proven that the more tasks people do, the worse they perform at each one, because the brain is designed to do one thing excellently. One at a time lang. So we talk about how to multitask in businesses. It's premature scaling. Yung hindi pa proven and tested yung business model ng isa, nag-cater na ng growth or accelerate na kung paano yung mga phases ng progression ng isang business. And we talk about this, most companies die not out of starvation, not because of lack of opportunities, but because of indigestion. Sobrang daming opportunities na choke, di ba, nabulunan. Kasi if you're good, and you're good because you're here, di ba? If you're here, you're getting better because you're surrounded with CEOs in this ecosystem who are as hungry as you in performing and getting better in their task. So having said that, most bankruptcy are filed after record-breaking performance. So the higher sales you go, the more cautious we ought to be. Okay? The more much more paranoid tayo. Right? So we talk about Jack Welch, yung ginawa niya, how he accelerated GE from several hundred billion to the market capitalization of 700 billion to 450 plus billion in his 20-year tenure. And he focused on the number 1 or number 2. If you're not number 1 or you're number 2 in your industry, hindi ka namin isasama sa portfolio ng companies ng GE. So they focus on the Pareto principle, 20% effort yield, 80% result. And hence, he was named manager of the century in 2000 when he retired. The late Jack Welch. He died, I believe, 2021 or 2020. Yeah. So in Great at Work, ito yung nakikita ko quote madalas. So quote nyo na uli, do less than obsess. Si RJ Tajonar, pakipasok naman. Papasukin siya. Ayan, nandiyan sa waiting room. Okay, last week we talked about examines about micromanaging versus deep diving. Okay, ano ba yung micromanaging? Is controlling every part of the enterprise, no matter how small. Diba? So sabi nga ni Mark Burnett, si The Voice, si Survivor, si Shark Tank, sabi niya, the executive producer said, what's more annoying than hiring great people and doing their job for them? That's micromanaging. Hinire natin, magaling yan. Bakit? Hinire natin. Tapos gagawin natin yung trabaho para sa kanila. Parang, why? Why are we doing that? Okay? So that nothing's more annoying as such. Now, the objective, the difference between micromanaging and deep diving is ang objective. Deep dive is all about analyzing things together as a team and making things better as a team. Whereas a micromanager is about dictating. O ganito gawin mo, ganyan gawin mo. Okay? It's all about asking questions to learn, not to validate. Diba? Iba kasi nagtatanong ka para matuto at nagtatanong ka para questionin. Diba? So those are two different things. So yun ang difference ng deep dive at micromanaging. So if we want to be clear on the difference, ito yun. A micromanager dictates what you must do. A deep dive leader asks what we must do. Yes? Please type yes if you are still engaged with the recap. Yan. Ayos. Daming nanonood Para dun sa nanay ko na nanonood, Mami, I love you. Yan. Okay, let's move forward. Explore. Let's talk about revenue streams. Okay? It's a basic business, but we need to understand what this is para align tayo. When we talk about revenue stream, this is the various sources from which a business earns money from the sale of goods and provision of services. So dito basically nakakapera ang isang negosyo sa pagbebenta ng goods o pagbibigay ng serbisyo. Largely, yan ang umiikot. Paano ba magkaroon ng revenue stream? Now, there are many types of revenue stream. Dalawa ang pinaka-common. Okay? Ano yung isa? We call it the one-time revenue stream, which is usually, I believe many of the companies here are on the one-time revenue stream, meaning we pay one, we sell one, and that's that. Tapos na yung transaction. Okay? That's good. That's okay. Okay lang yon. But what we're eyeing for is what you call the recurring revenue. It's much more commonly known as subscription model. Yan ang pinaka, I believe, safest revenue stream when you are in recurring. Like Netflix is on subscription. What else? Payran is on subscription. Ayan. So my executive advisory is on subscription. So yan ang gusto natin mangyari. So it assures us that we have a certain income, recurring income. Hindi tayo parang pag nabenta na natin to, iisip na naman ako paano ako mabibenta ulit ito. No, when you have recurring revenue, you're a bit more safe when it comes to financial issues or financial crisis kasi may steady stream of income tayo. Yes, please type your revenue stream in your company para nga malaman natin kung sinong may recurring at sino ang merong one time. Please type your company and type one time. Ayan, so we have one time. Ayan. We have recurring. Ayan, meron tayong mga recurring. I believe schools are recurring. Right? One time. So we're gonna slowly transition towards recurring if you're working with me. Kasi tuturo ko paano. Pag hindi, di ba? Hintayin na lang kayo sa principles of scaling para natin i-share. Okay, going back to the question, the problem with employment. Okay, or the difference between being an employee and a businessman. And I came up with that question kasi I was invited in a Bicol's State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, or BISCAT, entrepreneurship yung launching nila. I was one of the speakers there. And shout out no, sa pamitisan, kaibigang oso natin, si Kian. They make shoes out of recycled materials. So yung mga jeans natin, di ba, do-donate sa kanila. Galing-galing tong pamitisan na to. They were featured recently sa isang media, and they were at nandun kami sa nagsi-CEO meetup kami. They were in World Trade sa MOA, sa may MOA. They were in a fair. Anyway, what they did is they get used clothes, mga jeans, and they turn it into shoes. And it's a social enterprise. Estudyante to my goodness. Estudyante may social impact, di ba? Come on, tayo mga CEO na tayo Sama natin yan sa sa P&L natin, yung social impact. Anyway, their profit from the sales, they have a beneficiary. So isa sa anak niyan ng event na to, yung pamitisan, no, yung company na yon. Anyway, I got invited and I was asked what's the difference between, or what lessons did I learn from when I transitioned from being an employee and a business person. Okay, so sabi ko, there's a certain problem with employment, no? And there are three things. I'll just share. Siguro I'll focus on the third one. Ito yung una ko sinabi. There's a ceiling of your salary. I've been to the highs of highs. I've been to the lowest of lows. And when I was a director sa Labor, height of pandemic, I was picking up dahil nasa department ko ang human capital. Sinusundo natin yung mga HR team natin kasi HR hindi pwedeng mawala yan So sinusundo natin sila, they have to be in the office. Basically, hindi pa namin alam kung anong nangyayari noon at anong mangyayari noon. But we're health risk. We were experiencing health risk just to make sure that the company is, yung mga tao ng company are okay, when it comes to their salary and everything. And mga request, yung mga, what do you call that? Ayuda. But despite all that, the health risk exposure, lahat naka-work from home kami, nagbabiyahe kami. Even Saturdays, Sundays, pumapasok kami noon because we don't know what will happen next. Hindi naman nagbago yung salary ko after, di ba? After ng mga ganap na ganon. Because ganun talaga That's what I signed up with. When I was an employee, I signed up na this is what I'll get in exchange for this. So when we're employees, there's a ceiling to our salary. But if you're a business person, it's up to you how much ang ma-earn mo. Yes? Please type yes if you can relate. Diba? Nasa yan. Pag konti, kasalanan natin. Pag malaki, kasalanan natin. Diba? So that's one challenge with being an employee. Diba? Again, I have nothing against employee. Diba? Thank you so much, but let's be like Sellers Hub. Yan, plug ko na lang. Sellers Hub is grooming business people, business partners for our next venture. So be that kind of company who grooms employees into become your business partner in the future. Ayan. Okay, so next, there's no sense of ownership. I said there that when we graduate, we're gonna work hard to make a living. Tama? Lahat it's automatic. Sana all, di ba, na hihiga na lang tapos pag-gising mo yung pagkain na hindi ganon. We're gonna work hard. Either by building our business or working for someone else. Bottom line, magpapagod tayo. So sabi ko sa kanila, kung magpapagod na tayo, yung sa atin na lang. Yes, di ba? I mean, it's okay to get employed siguro for 1 year or 2 years, get the experience or not. That doesn't really matter. But the point is, if you're here because you want to be entrepreneurs, you want to build your own venture, you want to build your own legacy. Funny thing is, I still have time now. Funny, nag-pop up yung memory ko. Diba? And it just showed my schedule last year. So para sabi ko ron, I left my 9-to-5 job kasi I left the corporate world because I don't like to have a 9-to-5 job, and I became an entrepreneur. So now I work 24/7. Mali pala. Mali. So yung mga nagsasabi na gustong maging negosyante, sasabihin ko, dahil kontrolado mo oras mo, hindi totoo yun. Hindi totoo yun. What is freedom? It's a franc. What is sleep? That's not true. Ayan. It's a franc. Okay, there's no sense of ownership. And last but not least, this is the pinaka-challenge for me when I was an entrepreneur. There's one source of revenue, which is salary. Yun ang risky. People say, hindi, risky kasi magnegosyo eh. Well, sabi ko, actually, mas risky yung ikaw kasi isa lang ang source of revenue mo. Pag hindi natuwa sa iyo boss mo o na nagsara yung kumpanya, na benta, wala ka ng source, di ba? But a business person has multiple sources or has the capability to build multiple sources. At yun yung pag-uusapan natin in the next 30 minutes. Okay, so far so good. Can relate pa? Please type relate if you are still with me. At doon sa mga nasa Facebook, yung ilan na ba? Yung huli ko check, 17,000 eh. Ayan, join na kayo rito para mas masaya tayo. Ayan. So there's only one source. And may side hustle, sure. Pero yun na nga, it's a side hustle. It's not really building something that you can really rely on because you built it. Again, people say, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Maybe, yeah, sure. But the way I see it is we're all CEOs of our own human, human capital services. We sell it to company A, diba? And tawag na employee, diba? We sell our services. O hindi na natin gusto yung engagement. O sige, I will sell my services somewhere else. Meaning magre-resign ako. So it's just a shift in mindset. Diba? We're all CEOs of the human capital services of our company. We're selling it to companies. No? So there's no such thing as employees. Diba? It's a manufacturing an employee. Yun nga yung book na nasulat back in 1980s. Anyway, so there's one source of revenue. Unlike a business person can have multiple sources of revenue. Now, the question is, parang, I don't want you to get confused. Baka sabihin niya, may disconnect. Kala ko ba sabi mo 2 weeks ago, it's all about focus. Di ba? Mag-focus lang tayo, multitasking is a myth. It's all about focusing. Well, yes, but this is the beauty of it. This is the genius of the end. It's not focus and or diversify. It's focus and diversify. Ulitin ko para mas malinaw. The great ones, okay, the great companies, they focus and diversify. They don't succumb to the tyranny of the or. Focus or diversify. No. The great ones, focus and diversify. Diba? So personal finance tayo. Si Coach Ron, I've been busy in the finance industry. May mga tao rito nasa finance industry. You all know this, diba, na the word or the phrase, don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to investments. Diba? So we invest in stocks, we invest in real estate. What else? We invest in business. Even in stocks nga, I invest in stocks. Hindi lang isang company. So if you want investing in stocks, go to one of my partners, No Ceiling. Yan ang ating investment advisor. Yan ang nagbibigay sa atin ng stock picks. At up ako ng 27% when the market is down ngayon. So magaling yung ating partner dyan. Anyway, so when you're investing, di ba, you don't invest in just one company. You invest in multiple companies. So you diversify your investment portfolio because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Kasi nga, if you knock down one egg, diba? You knock down, if it is in one basket and it got knocked down, wala lahat. But if diversified siya, diba? May ano tayo, hedge. Yan. Now, Chikitan taught this in the personal finance. Sabi niya, I don't just diversify in my investment, I also diversify in my portfolio or income or revenue stream. So marami rin siyang revenue stream. Diba? So ganun din tayo as business people. Okay? So ano ba talaga? Multitask or focus or diversify? Well, it's called phase diversification. Okay? Or in our words, it's called scaling. Aalisin natin yung prematurely doon sa scaling prematurely. It's now scaling. So ano ito? It's a book. Ay, naku, high blood na naman ako. Asan ba yung Jerome, pengi fish oil. Okay. Ito, libro. BE 2.0, one of the best books I've read. Noong ko pa, since November pa ata, sinasabi ko, basahin nyo to. Kung kailangan nyo ng copy, mag-message kayo sa akin, bibigyan ko kayo. Madidimanda na nga ata ako ni Jim Collins na ito. Namimigay kayo yung libro niya. But my point is, read this. Okay? Alam nyo, segue ko lang, I still have time. Ano ba? One of the best companies I'm working with, and not me, not by my standard, but others, okay, is BK Rivera and Ian Sabayton of Seller Sub. Okay? People say they're really like Lodi ng e-com yan. Guess what? Nasa management class nila to. Require nilang basahin to ng mga team nila. So, kita natin connection. They're good. They read books. So, go figure. Okay? Anyway, so yan, high blood na. So, we want the principles in this book to be incultured in our ecosystem. We're offering it in our executive education. I'll share something about that later. But my point is, read this book. And going back, phase diversification, ito yung ibig sabihin nila. The strategy whereby you focus on one line of business until you have reached your objectives in that market. Then, and only then, do you move into a second arena. So, facing tayo. Yes, please type facing if you are with me. So, na-high blood na naman ako. Sorry na. Ayan. Thank you. Kaya yung iba nabwisit na ata sa akin. Na-high blood. Anyway, facing. Yan. Facing tayo. Focus muna tayo. Pag stable in business model, kaya na kontrolado na, then we'll move to the next arena to build the next revenue stream. Okay. So para mas makarelate tayo, let's do a case study and then we'll get practical. So case study, kilala nyo tong company na to na gagamitin natin. SM. Sige, pakitype. What does SM stand for? Please type it down. Yan. Yeah. So, di ba? Sige nga. Okay, Shoemart. Why is it SM? But is SM a Shoemart? Obviously not. Saka lang, di ba? Power. Okay, SM, diba? SM is shoe mart because they started as a shoe mart. Talagang sapatos lang binebenta nila. Before there was Amazon, there was Henry C. Sa atin nag-umpisa yan. Diba? So, shoe mart siya, 1950s, Henry C started selling shoes, and then eventually, when it was already at its, kumbaga, yung objective ni Henry C na reach niya na, he started, okay, so may shoe mart na ako, may mga tao na, may bumibili na, kilala na yung brand. What if I start a department store? Ayan na, di ba? So nag-start na siya ng department store. Tapos sabi, may department store, may shoes na rin nandun. What if magkaroon na ako ng grocery? Di ba? So nagkaroon ng hypermarket. So ando na, mas dumami ngayon yung tao. They started building, SM became sa shopping mall. From shoe mart to supermarket to shopping mall. And then eventually, may grocery na rin naman tayo para mas mabilis ang transaction. Karoon tayong bangko. Diba? So nagka-BDO na sila. Diba? And then, since kaya na nating mag-construct naman ng mga malls, mag-condo na rin tayo. Diba? So they started diversifying. It started as a shoe mart. After such, partner na rin tayo kasi we want to give back to the community. Partner tayo with IBM na start a school. Yan. And then, di ba? O, naalala ko, mayaman na ako. Okay, magtayo na tayo ng drugstore natin. Okay, alam niyo ba ang kwento niyan? O, doon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, gusto niyo malaman, please type yes. Kung gusto niyo malaman ang kwento, bakit walang mercury sa loob ng ng SM. O, kwento niyan ito. And then you can research this. I think it was 2018. It was really public na. Back then when Henry C was still shoe mart, kita niya ang daming foot traffic sa Mercury. And he asked Mercury if kung pwede ba siya magtayo ng maliit na stall sa tabi ng Mercury. Hindi siya pinayagan. So sabi ni Henry C, hindi na kita papapasukin. Hindi ako maglalagay ng Mercury drug sa SM pag mayaman na ako. Imagine that. And true enough, it happened. So you can Google that. It's something that is already public. And it's in the training manual, I believe, ng mga nag-aano sa SM. Anyway, so there. And yeah, 'di ba? Kaya wag nating i-smallin yung mga diba? How'd you like me now? Diba? Anyway, going back, diba? Hi, crush. Ako nga pala yung sinayang mo. Okay, sorry na. Okay. So they started growing and so on. And 2017, I believe I got invited by a headhunter. Their to go was I went to SM. The company was to go. Sabi ko, why is that? And then I spoke with one of the C's in the final interview ko. And then I got asked, they said, we got interested with your profile because you have a port background because I was back then working in a port. And then I remember, connect, And then I remember they bought to go. Yeah, so for faster logistics, diba? So this is what you call, hindi ko na sinama dyan yung Taal Vista, yung Walter Mart, Arthur Mart, Pico de Loro, and the other ventures nila. But this is what you call an ecosystem play. That's why when you're going to start a mall, you're not competing with SM. You are competing with BDO, with SMDC, with Alpha Mart. Kasi this is what people don't get. You don't compete with the company. Companies don't compete with one another. Companies compete with their ecosystem. So you've been hearing that from me, diba? Keeping ecosystem play. So yeah, and that's why it's very critical that you know how to build your ecosystem. And hello, sa CEOInsight Asia, ayan ang ecosystem natin. Diba? You're just gonna tap on that. Yes, ayan, diba? Ayan na, yun na yung palag. Okay, so how do you discover new revenue streams? So going back to earth muna tayo. Okay, how do I apply that to me? There are two critical competencies that we need to do. It starts with letter C. Number one, it's called customer obsession. We have to be obsessed with our customers. Okay? And the biggest company that I know, or the best company that I know when it comes to customer obsession is this company. Yan. This is the logo of the company. Kung sinong makakahula niyang company na yan, bibigyan ko ng jacket sa CEO Summit. Ay, matindi! Yan. So, yeah, that's true. This is Amazon.com. This is the first logo. Tindi ni Christian Mosende, di ba? Bigyan ng jacket yan. Ilagay na sa budget yan na napasubo ako. Ayan. Oo. Sige, bahala na si AJ sa budget natin. Yung director of partnerships natin. But anyway, this is Amazon.com. Okay? They started what? In books. And they're so obsessed with their customers. They have the data of their customers and they realize, okay, they started with books and sige, we want to provide frictionless transaction. Yun nga ang term nila. Okay? So, yan, merchandise phase 1, 2, 3 na. So, they started, we're selling books. Gusto natin maging maganda experience ng mga customers natin. May mga bumibili ng e-books. Magkaroon tayo ng Kindle. So, dahil may Kindle na rin naman tayo, magkaroon na tayo ng Amazon Prime. This is for a subscription. So, Amazon started in a one-time, di ba? Bili ka ng libro, one-time transaction. They added Prime. This is basically a subscription model. For 1 year, you have to pay a certain amount and you get free delivery. May mga other pang perks with other merchants and so on. So this is their subscription model. You get a lot of value by paying premium, not really premium, but a membership with the Prime sa Amazon Prime. And then, they started, okay, so may books na tayo, nakita natin nagda-download sila bumibili sila ng mga DVDs, CDs. What if gawa na rin tayo ng movies natin? Diba? So they created Amazon Original. So nandyan si Invincible. Yan. At saka yung recent favorite ko, not naman favorite, but I like watching it, The Boys, yan, season 4 na. Yan. So what else? They also started inviting merchants for the customer para mas maraming selection. So isa sa naging client partner natin is a CK Ventures, and they're into the Amazon. When we did the DNA, ang mission statement natin doon is, we bring you to the Amazon ecosystem. If you want to become part of the Amazon ecosystem, this is the people you want to work with. So isang kaibigan also natin yung partner tayo dun sa company na yon. No? So if you want to get connected to your products in Amazon, just talk to me and I'll connect you to them. All right. Anyway, so when they started inviting merchants, sabi na, okay, total, kailangan nilang mas mabilis na cloud computing, let's offer the services, Amazon Web Services. So these are revenue streams in a set of customers, in a platform filled with customers. Okay, and they also had grocery. They bought Whole Foods. I think 2019, 2020, or 2018. Whole Foods is a good fresh. Their produce, yun ang mga nila, vegetables, produce, and fruits, and they're a physical store. So Amazon bought them. So this is what you call an ecosystem play, di ba? Multiple revenue streams, di ba? Merong pool of customers already. Kasi nandun na yung customers eh. And so now we think of ways to come up with revenue stream because the customers are already there. And that comes from customer obsession. In fact, sabi nga ni Jeff Bezos, and this is what I love about Jeff Bezos, sabi niya, observe your competitors for sure, but obsess over your customers. Kindly screenshot that, di ba? I have that tattooed in my eyeballs. But you want to obsess over your customers. Kasi when we obsess with our customers, we see a slice of their life na hindi na fulfill na pwede natin fulfill. They love their customers so much that they bought Zappos, one of the companies. They started selling shoes and then they got obsessed with their customers. They're actually trained. Zappos employees are actually trained to, when customers buy from them, at wala silang stock ng shoes, Zappos employees or teammates are required to, not only required, but they're trained and they're asked to point to competitors. Kung sino doon, they're to point to up to 3 competitors kung sino may stock nung sapatos na yon. So sabi nga, what do we get out of that? Customer loyalty. Kasi it's all about the customer for us. Kahit lost sale yun, okay lang yun. Ang importante na serve namin yung customer. And they were able to reach $1 billion in revenue in less than 10 years. $1 billion in revenue in less than 10 years. This is one of the, founded by the late Tony Hsieh. He died in 2020 in a fire. One of the best books I've read, Delivering Happiness. Ayan, nagsasabi na naman ako ng libro. Meron ako nun, mahingi na lang kayo sa akin, sabihin nila. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this is the key. Okay, serve the customer well through a strong ecosystem. This is the flywheel. You attract strong other companies to join the ecosystem, and it's a flywheel. It attracts more customers, it attracts more people in the platform, and so on and so forth. All right. Okay. The next is competency transfer. Okay. So the first one is customer obsession. How do you find different revenues? Customer obsession, obsess over your customer. Second is competency transfer. And this is when I was there before the CEO Summit, I went to Victory Taguig. So I went to the church. Sa Victory Taguig, and then I met with my partner and we were having that conversation and we talk about business and nag-order kami sa coffee project, and then sabi namin galing ng ecosystem play ni Manny Villar, obviously, because he started with Camellia. O magaling tayong magtayo ng mga bahay, tayo na lang tayo ng mall. Diba? So nagtayo ng mall, nagkaroon ng Vista Mall, and then may Vista Mall na tayo. May mall na tayo, gawa tayong grocery. So may all day grocery. O meron na tayo all home. And then meron na tayo ganito, may grocery tayo. O gawa na rin tayo bangko, di ba? May all bank na rin sila. And then since nandun na rin yung mga tao, again, gawa na tayong coffee, so coffee project. But the point, you get what I'm saying, diba? You transfer your skill set. You're good at building something. You can transfer to another dimension and be a source of its revenue. No wonder that Manny Villar right now is the second richest person in the Philippines according to Forbes. No? The C's are the number one. All right. Sige. So let's get practical. Oh, I still have time. Yeah. Yeah. Totoo yan, totoo yan. All right. So far, so good learning. Diba? Please type I am learning if you are with me. Ayan. Walang natuto, di ba? Salamat naman. Okay, let's get practical. How do we apply this in our businesses? So 3 O's. Diba? Number 1, sinabi na natin to, obsess over your customer. Observe your competitors. The best ones, they don't look at their competitors. Diba? When I had my ebook is about to be completed. Thank you, Mika. A part of the contributor is Steve C, and we were having that conversation. Sabi niya, I don't obsess over my competitor. No wonder, di ba? He's just obsessed about his customer. Diba, yung mga magagaling, hindi pinapansin yung mga competitor. I mean, they observe, they respect, but they don't obsess over ano kang ginagawa niya. Diba? They obsess over their customers. Yeah. So, who's your customer? Para quick lang, it's a person or organization that buys goods or services from a store or business. So basically, this is the person who benefits the most with what you do. So I think kahapon nakadalawang session ako with Comizen and with Jean Choi of Chantal. We want to understand who the customers are. And then next, after obsessing over your customers, organize around their pain point. Ano yung pain point? Ano yung sakit sa ulo nila? Diba? Not the problem, but the pain point. And then you offer a pivotal solution to that pain point, either through your competency or partnering with someone. Okay? So, ang game plan natin lagi, you are a painkiller, not a vitamin. Diba? Kasi when you look at two things, diba? Painkiller or vitamins. Pag uminom tayong vitamins, hindi natin alam kung anong effect nito. Maliban sa naninilaw yung wiwi natin. Diba? Pero hindi natin talaga immediately ramdam. Pero pag painkiller, diba? Pag may sakit ka sa ulo, minom ka, tanggal ka agad. So, be that kind of company. Find the pain point and be a painkiller. Yes, please type, I'm a painkiller if you are still with me. Yan. Tapos closing na tayo. Yan. Obsess, organize, then offer, and then repeat. So that is the flywheel. In closing, and this is what I want to spend the rest of the next 5-10 minutes sharing with you. I want to close with a case study. And we're ending the series here. Next week, may series break tayo. Bakasyon ako. Thank you, Lord. Bahala na kayo dyan. Malaki na kayo. Okay. But I want to share the case study of CEOInsight Asia. Okay. We're gonna apply the 4 lessons for the past week. So the first one, this is the original logo. Yan! Totoo yan! Yan ang original logo ng CEO Insights. Okay, we started April of 2021. Yan, it started, you know the story. We're talking about manifesting an insatiable drive to be better. Yan ang focus ng series natin. And the first one is all about launching one new venture. And how we started, I came from a multi-million discovery meeting with the client, and I was hoping na hindi ito mag-materialize. And I was wondering, ba't ganun? Ba't ayaw ko? Kasi I didn't want to work with that CEO. So sabi ko, bakit? Kasi he's not a builder. Sorry, she's not a builder. Okay, she's a businesswoman, and that's okay. Diba? That's okay. She wants to build institutions for money, not for legacy. So sabi ko, sino ba ang pinaka-favorite kong client? I came up with 2. Diba? Si Paolo Hilario of Playbear. Andito sila eh. Paolo Hilario of Playbear at si Seller Sub. So kami ni BK, kami ni Paolo. So sabi ko, ano tayo? Meet up tayo once a month, every Wednesday 8 p.m. pa yun. Wala nga lang akong picture ng kaming tatlo. Nag-swap lang kami ng ideas. Diba? Kung paano ba mag-build ng mga ventures namin into lasting institution. It was very informal. It just started that way. We build the DNA and then once we built the DNA, it attracted more people. Yun yung power ng Yun ang power ng DNA eh. We attracted people with what we're doing. So sabi namin, okay, maybe there's something going on. Let's a bit formalize it. Kasi even investors invited, one of our investors shared this na, okay, you have an ecosystem of startups. We want to invest in startup. We're aggressively looking for startups or companies invest in small medium enterprise to help them. So tinanong ko, how much ang floor natin? So, we can do for 10 million. So I just shared, okay, we have one of the investors in the ecosystem had 10 million, I shared it. Mali no? Yun yung mali ko. Nagkaroon kami ng phase 2, which is obsessing in performance. We focused kasi back then we had an identity crisis. Because we want to invite builders, people who build for legacy. And then we marketed, we have 10 million investors in our ecosystem at the least. Diba? So natural lang ma-attract namin mga people are looking for money. Parang we had an identity crisis back then, and then we grew into 100 almost 200 CEOs. They're still there, bro, but they're not very much active kasi iba nga yung direction. So we focused, ano ba talaga si CEO Insights Asia? So we immerse in details, we install a deep dive, we started learning. Okay. So we started back in November, Principles of Scaling was launched. Na-realize namin na we cannot build momentum out of a once a month event. Before, circles were once a month. So sabi natin, we can't build momentum out of a once a month event. So we started doing it on a weekly basis. Principles of Scaling was launched December, circles were born. Ayan. I will extend a bit lang. Okay lang ba? Mga 3-5 minutes. Is that okay? Please? Yes, last ko na naman to. Next week wala ako eh. Okay, ayan, salamat. Gcash. Ayan. Okay, so we started deep diving. We wanted to analyze and we did learn. We discovered a lot of what worked and what didn't. Okay? So from Principles of Scaling, nato-troll tayo nung nakaraan. Si Jobs at saka si Frank, no? We were having people who were now trolling at us. If you will look at the live back then, real time, may mga nagsusulat ng yung annotation, they were writing, while I was talking, they were writing explicit images. Binubura nila yung slide natin. So because of that, we decided to remove the annotation. Wala nang ganun. And then parang, I think 4 weeks ago, may mga CEO Insights Europe, may mga nag-unmute, ang ingay, ginugulo talaga, buti lang umpisa pa lang. So we learned to disable unmute. So in-unmute na. Kaya pagpasok nyo, naka-mute na kayo at hindi kayo makapag-unmute, diba? So we disable that. So we deep dive. We don't allow dubious names. So pag may naglagay na mag-join na iba yung pangalan, gantong iPhone, kinikick ni RD. So yun yung operator natin. So those are the things that we learned. Also in circles. So particularly sa circles. Sa circles, we birth once a month. Before, we birth weekly. Dahil ang bilis ng growth eh. So we took our advice and we scaled, right? So we birthed once a month. We also blacklisted CEOs who signed up but didn't show up. Yan ang dahilan kaya hindi po kayo nakakapasok. Kasi, simple-simple na naman ang gagawin natin eh. So magsa-sign up, ang problema, number ko yon. So magta-text sa akin, magta-text ako, are you going to confirm na ito yung schedule kasi invite ko tong CEO na to out of their busy schedule to meet you. They will confirm. Tapos hindi magsha-show up. So, okay, if that's the case, madali akong kausap, blacklisted tayo. Okay? You also put on waitlist those who signed up but didn't send a message. Yan, nakalagay doon. I will send a message, diba, to inform CEO. Hindi nagsasend. Waitlist kayo. Kasi pinupuno pa namin yung hinahanapan ko pa kung paano mapupuno yung mga nasa waitlist. Ayan. Okay, listen. And then ito, we remove CEOs who waste fellow CEOs' time. Ito yung mga CEO na join for the sake of it's convenient, hype lang. No, we remove those people because these are not yung kailangan pang i-remind na may meeting, 'di ba? We are not your secretary. These CEOs are not your secretaries. These are not your babysitters, diba? You're CEOs. We're all CEOs. We make our commitment and we follow that. It's as simple as that. If you can't, if it's not your cup of tea, by all means, respectfully leave the GC, diba? Or we'll remove you. Kasi we'll give more space for those who want to become part of the ecosystem. So yun tayo. No? This is the CEO Insights Asia. If it's not for you, okay lang yun, no problem, diba? Go find another community. But if you want to be better, just like the rest of the people here, welcome to the club. You're more than welcome. Okay, so yan, right? And now we're living in ideas. We're talking about testing new revenue streams. Okay, so how do we do that? Ayos na yung operations natin, steady na siya. Now we're expanding. So we have the executive partnership. We're offering it now. We also have the executive education CEO leadership happening September. It's launched. It will be launched on September. Yung pilot niyan. So it's a limited slot. Just message the team kung if you want to become part of that. Si RD. Ayan. Okay. And then we're also scaling ang ating principles of scaling. So last Thursday, we talked about how to run this program. At meeting lang yon pero may mga nag-join. So yung mga nag-join dito, natuto parang, grabe pala tong principles of scaling. Hindi pala to just. Hindi pala to basta-basta. Okay. Ang tindi palang preparation nito. Ayan. So pinamigay ko na nga ang formula. Ayan. So next coming weeks, you will see less of me. At gusto nyo naman yon, di ba? Ayaw nyo high blood sa inyo every Friday na lang di ba? At hahaba rin naman ang buhay ko. Di ba? So there, we'll have more CEOs to be featured to do the principles of scaling. We did the CEO meetup. Syempre, to the next level tayo. Di ba? CEO Summit happening this December. Matindi na yan. Yes, you can launch your own show on your own niche. Yan. So, coordinate na lang tayo. Okay? So, ito, gusto ko lang i-highlight ito. Ready your tux and your gowns because this is happening this October. Alright. So, I talk about the ecosystem play and this is my final thoughts. I talk about the ecosystem play, how to find new revenues, customer obsession, and then competency transfer. What I didn't mention is the third one. Okay? And this is what's happening in CEOInsight Asia outside the circles. Nagkaroon ng meetup, nandun ng Impact Trading, Cognizant Evidence, We Asia Organica. Thursday, I think alas 3 na Impact is from Tarlac pa yan. Alas 3 na ng madaling araw, nagsiuwian niyang mga yan. Di ba? And this is what you call community exchange. You get ideas from other communities how to generate new revenue streams. Okay, so we don't have competitors here. Diba? You have collaborators. Yan. So that's the community is so big. Ang daming I turn away clients and give it to someone else because I cannot accommodate the sobrang dami. So yeah, this is how you do ecosystem play. All right. So with that, thank you so much. As promised, 3 minutes. I'll give the floor now to the person, si Jerome of F&B distributorship. He can now unmute and share his insights. But largely, as I close, thank you so much for staying in and tuning in for the past 4 weeks. Jerome, floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Naririnig po ba ako?
Claro.
Yeah. So na-discuss na pinakamalaki talaga yung impact sa akin is yung focusing or obsessing more on the customers compared sa competitors. Kasi I remember this quote from Grant Cardone sa kanya ko nga narinig na champions focuses on improving themselves while the losers focuses on their competitors. So based on experience, yes, kasi for me yung pag nagpo-focus ako sa competitors, nai-stress lang ako. Pero if nakikinig ako, kasi di ba, especially meron tayong mga competitors natin, they're doing, especially to mention the unethical things on our industry. Someone is copying our products and then they are they are selling lower prices, something like that. So if nagpo-focus doon, walang nadudulot. So parang nangyayari dyan, nagkakaroon tayo ng spiral downward na tayo gagawa tayo ng something na para makaganti sa kanila. Wait lang. Papalag tayo sa price war. So yung dalawang companies, companies natin and them, we're going on a downward spiral na motion. So parehong lang talo in the end. Pero if we will focus on our customers, on our companies, what we can do better, ito based on experience lang din. Before, involved ako sa sales on an internet service. So nung na-differentiate namin na most of our customers, yung problem nila is yung price point is talagang higher compared to other competitors. Now, yung company na pinagtrabahuhan ko that time is somewhat talagang parang they are just a reseller of existing internet providers. So talagang kailangan lang magpato para kumita yung business. So, ayun, ang lesson ko na nakuha ko dun is the companies, nagrereklamo sila why bakit walang sales, nahirapan kami magkaroon ng sales. Pero yung point dun is hindi sila nakikinig dun as in lahat talaga kami as part of the sales team. Ang reklamo lang talaga ng customer, they are willing to take the deal, they like the offer, it's just the price point. And yung flexible payment terms, hindi siya ina-adjust. So, ayaw siyang gawin ng company. They're not listening to their customers, making it hard for the company or the organization itself to grow.
Yeah.
So, yun, that's the insight na pinaka-impactful po sa akin for this
Alright.
for today.
Sige. Thank you so much, Jerome, of franchising and distributorship. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for allowing me to extend for 6 minutes. Enjoy the rest of the week. Next week, we'll have AJ, Director of Partnerships, to talk about his experience in creating business model. Blessings, everyone. Cheers. Bye-bye.